Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of wargame review institutions. This is Counterfact Magazine. I believe it's from One Small Step Games. It's issue number 3, and the game inside of it is Millennium Wars Advanced Rules. This was created in 2016. I can only tell you that because it's written on the rules for the game. The actual magazine itself does not have the date written in it, which is really unusual for a magazine. But anyhow, we're here to talk about the game. It says Millennium Wars Advanced is a new wargame system that models a wide spectrum of modern conflict at the operational level. Millennium Wars Advanced addresses the full spectrum of operations and modern conflict, including land, air, naval, logistics, information warfare, and special operations. It also deals with the impact of technology and doctrine on operational capabilities, modeled in the design as tier. MWA systems are holistically integrated and generally use the same resolution system, but incorporate such things as insurgency, terrorism, cyber warfare, weapons of mass destruction, and the political backlash effects of suffering casualties and bungled operations. Maneuver and combat emphasize mission effects over attrition. Each MWA game will have one or more scenarios, each showing a different historical, current, or hypothetical campaign. This particular iteration of MWA is called States of Conflict. It's a simulation of the various campaigns of the Arab-Israeli wars of the last several decades. So it starts with the general course of play, description of play, and it's going over time scales and definitions. Quite a few definitions here, actually. And now it's going over the components. I like the paper the rules are written on. It's kind of nice. Feels almost like resume paper. And it's going over the different counters here. And it's talking about the map and factions. Limited intelligence, zones of influence. Alright, where's the sequence of play, rather. So to prepare for play, you agree to a scenario, and then you select the factions you want, punch out the counters, and place the maps on the table. Makes sense. How to play starts with an operations phase, then a logistics phase, and then an admin phase. And then it's describing the different phases here. Going over movement, combat. So what phase is movement and combat in? Is that the operations phase? Yeah, it's part of the operations phase. So they should have, under the operations phase, listed the different segments like movement and combat and stuff. Otherwise, you're going to be jumping back in the book all the time, unless one of the player aides has a more detailed description of the sequence of play. But the way they have it there, that's not enough. Alright, movement allowance table, terrain effect table. Different casualty types, including one called body bags. The affected unit is removed from play. Alright, there's a casualty table, political points table, and political index. You got chemical, biological, and nuclear weapons. And victory. Looks like it's based on some type of victory conditions rather than victory points. Alright, game ends when a faction completes all its victory conditions, or if a faction drops below 20 political points and fails its national will check. A player may always concede the game, and the other side wins a strategic victory. Alright, here's a casualty table. Here's missions. Mission descriptive chart. So these all seem like mission okay, so types of missions like assault, ambush, airstrike. And here's this engage, engineer. Interesting. This is doesn't seem like anything like any of the other games I've ever played. It seems different. That's not necessarily a bad thing. But after just looking through this rule manual, I still don't have a clue what this game is really about, so that's kind of unusual. And here's unit types. Here's some player aids. Hezbollah, PLO, Israel, Phalange, I'm not sure who they are. I've never heard of that before. Syria. Alright, okay. So here's the actual operations, I think. Operation Peace for Galilee. Also known as Israel as the First Lebanon War, Israeli Defense Forces invaded southern Lebanon on June 6, 1982. The invasion was a direct response to the assassination attempt on Shlomo Argov, the Israeli ambassador to the UK. The attempt had been carried out by members of the Abu Nidal group. After Israeli forces surrounded Beirut, PLO and Syrian forces negotiated passage out of Lebanon. Southern Lebanon remained occupied by Israeli forces after immediate hostilities ceased. And it has some special rules and stuff down here. Let me zoom into that, or show you that. And describing the forces here and the victory conditions. Israeli victory conditions: devastate 5 communities in Lebanon, destroy all PLO artillery units, Israeli or Phalange units occupy Beirut, or reset any Arab faction political index. And the Arab victory conditions: less than 5 communities devastated at the end of turn 5, PLO units occupy Beirut at the end of turn 6, or reset Israeli political index. I mean, now the game's making sense after looking at these scenario cards here. Before that, didn't seem to really describe what the game was about, but now I get it. So, alright, Lebanon 2. So there's a Lebanese scenario. Let's take a look at the counters. The artwork looks alright. Got MiGs, Israeli Kafirs, F-16s, F-15s, gunships, headquarters, armor. I think that's armored cavalry, possibly. I forget. I always forget what some of these symbols mean. Yeah, so the counters look actually really good. Look really good. It's got a bunch of information on the back, too. Let's look at the map. It's kind of a long map. Choice of the colors are unusual, but ocean is black. And instead of having traditional hexes, they just have these little points with a number representing the hex. So that's kind of interesting. Alrighty. One of these days I'll see if I get a chance to try this and let you guys know how it is. It still does seem kind of unusual, but sometimes unusual games are awesome. Anyhow, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please click like on it, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel, and as always, have a good evening.